What is up, everyone? My name is Grizz, and welcome to something I am incredibly excited for, which is the second season of Vinland Saga. This is probably the most excited I have been for a new season of a show to come out ever. I watched the first season maybe, I think over the last summer, and absolutely fell in love with it. Up to that point, I was somebody who basically just binged through everything that they watched and never really watched things weekly because I didn't like that idea. And I just figured it would be harder for me to remember like little details and certain things. But this series was different. I found myself almost every single episode, even when all of season one was already out and I could just binge through it, having to stop after every episode, sometimes two, but for the most part, every episode, and just like step back and think for like multiple days on what I just watched and just like constantly have it like replay in my mind and think about it. It was weird. It was an experience I've never had with something before. And there was just so much I wanted to like talk about and so much I had going on in my mind. And that was honestly when I really started to think about the idea of recording reactions, was while I was watching that series. Not that I would have so much to talk about that would be like new perspectives that other people weren't thinking about, because I really don't think I'm that on top of things or give that different of a perspective for many people. But just to have like an outlet to kind of speak on and talk about all these things that have been going on in my head like that. Regardless, I fell in love. Everything about the show, absolutely loved Askeladd or Ashalad. I don't know the exact way to say his name still, but either way, he's one of my favorite characters ever on my anime list. If you go check the link in the description on my profile, he is on my top 10 favorite character list. So we absolutely love him. Rest easy to my boy. Here with season 2, I have no idea where we're gonna go. We ended season 1 with the prologue ending and Ashalad basically asking Thorfinn, or posing the question to him on what he plans to do with his life and where he wants to take things from here. After he's gone, and realizes Thorfinn literally has never thought about it, and this is the perfect time for him to sit back and really reflect. He was robbed of his vengeance of killing the man who killed his father, and he's lived out his entire life. I don't know how old he is now, but we're gonna say 10 to 15 years of his life just wasted chasing after revenge, and he never got it, which is a good thing. And I absolutely love that that happened, because that's literally the only thing he had going for him and the only thing driving him. And he needs to learn to be a different and better person and really learn things for himself and become the person that he wants to be and not whatever he was chasing before. I hope and I honestly expect this season to really be focused very heavily on Thorfinn finding himself and finding what it is that he truly values and what he truly wants. The things I'm aware of going into this season, a couple things. One, this is, to my knowledge, considered the farming arc or the farmland arc or the slave arc or something along those lines. So, and also by the title of episode 1, when they were dragging out Thorfinn in the last episode, my guess is he's not just free. My guess is he's a slave now. I don't know if he got sold into slavery or if it was like he's a slave for Canute now or exactly what it is. I have no idea. I don't know if Canute's going to even be in this season, or if he is, if he's going to be relevant. I don't know if we're going to be flashing between perspectives if we are separated, or if it's strictly going to be just Thorfinn's story. I have no idea. It is a show that in season 1 did show us different perspectives and conversations and things going on outside of Thorfinn. So it's not specifically just follows him. So we can easily do that, but I don't know if that's the route that they're going to go, if we're just solely going to kind of follow Thorfinn here. We also saw at the end of the last episode a few different characters that they like showed us. As I think it was kind of like a preview into who we're going to see this season. I don't really remember what they looked like or anything. Doesn't really matter. We'll get into them this season for sure. It's scheduled for 2 cores. I believe 24 episodes was what was confirmed. So I'll be here until end of June probably doing this. Mappa is now in charge instead of Wit Studio, but I do believe it's the same exact staff that fully got brought over. Or at least I believe I saw a tweet or something like that early in the year from the director or something. I'm not too positive, but I'm pretty sure it's similar to that. I don't know who the licensor of this is, so I don't know if this video is going to be difficult for me to upload the reaction for, and if it's going to get taken down. If it is, and there's no reaction in the actual video, check the description. There will be one in there. If not, and we have no issues, it'll be uploaded on here. I got 24 weeks to try and figure this out, so Hopefully we get it by the end. And lastly, expectations going into this season is immensely high. I have heard things about how this is like the best arc of the series. I've also heard things that it's very different from season 1, but I'm okay with that because the moments that I loved in season 1 so much were just the general conversations and different things that were happening and had nothing to do with like the actual action and stuff. So if a lot of that is not in this arc, I'm okay with that completely. But yeah, I don't want to keep talking too much. I want to watch this. I'm too excited. So without saying anything more, let's get started with season 2, episode 1 of Vinland Saga. Is this opening like OP? I think so. First time seeing this. I think we saw this guy at the end of the first season. Oh yeah, he lost his dagger too. The blood on the crown of Canute after murdering Ashalad. The music already. Ooh. Oh. It's a different language, I'm pretty sure. I can't tell though. What are we carving exactly? Dude, the music. I'm ascending. I don't know what that means. Episode 1, Slave. Einer. So you say it? Einer? 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 So it's a bit more of a peaceful area, maybe? He's training for battle, but nobody's ever trained him. He looks old enough. Training again. Okay. In case if somebody pulls up on us. Yeah. Oh. Was this the village that got burned in season 1? Or is this completely separate? He's pouring his heart into it. You guys are just clowning around. Yeah. We're not out. Can always rebuild. And that's exactly what you've done. All these smiles wouldn't be here. All these happy people right now would not be here if we lost. Look at the bigger picture. Okay. We're burning motherfuckers. Still no Thorfinn. Is this flashback or are they getting raided again? I think they're getting raided again. After they rebuilt it all. But you're still together. Just keep running. Oh no. I don't want to see her get hurt. Is she so far behind them? Oh, Mom. No. Fucking run. Just run. She doesn't want you to stop. Yeah. You have to protect your sister. She's not as important anymore. Priorities changed. No, why'd you come back? It's crazy how one side could be so happy and laughing and the other is... You gotta go, bro. What a true warrior would do. You gotta know when to cut your losses. What's more important, saving one or saving two? Just makes you wonder why they did it, you know? Fuck. Uh-oh. Didn't even have a chance. This poor fucking guy now. Seeing them all go right in front of him. Fuck. Fucking sucks too. He had the opportunity to run and try and get out of there with them and he stalled and didn't listen and now look what happens. Something's awakening in him. Oh, that is cool. The struggle. That is cool. Fur on a barren land withers, with neither bark nor leaves, so too does the man loved by none. Why should he live a long life? So all these guys were bought to be sold into slavery? Is that why they raided the village, is to get the men to sell into slavery? I think that would make a lot of sense. They're having physicals done. Just slip out behind them? How the hell did he get away? Nobody was even watching? It's not gonna work the way you want, buddy. It's really pretty. You're on an island, like, it's not like you're just gonna be able to get out, you know? Rather live your life as a slave or die and be free, I think is really the question. Yeah, find yourself a good master, one who won't do this. Can you find value in that, though? We got the cute boys over here. So it's like an auction. They just get these dudes lined up and somebody has to decide if they want them. He could be here for days. I wouldn't know where I was going. That's what held him up. And then I wouldn't have anywhere to return to. Damn. Is this Leaf? It's Leaf. Do you recognize him? You guys know each other? Leaf just appears at the most random moments, I feel like. Oh, he's looking for Thorf. I'm here to buy someone else back. And he doesn't even realize it, I bet. Leaf's such a good dude. Hey. I don't think we know this guy. Sturdy. Like a cow. So you can farm. Oh. I'll take him. What kind of farm? Let's hold on now. This could be good if all you gotta do is farm, but if you gotta, you know, some other shit's going on, this probably isn't good. He's not like holding him or anything, and he's letting him walk freely here. Is Thorfinn already here? And then he's gonna be like, oh shit, somebody was looking for you. It looks like Vinland. Very vast. That was a little glitchy with the CG down there. They were like stuttering at the bottom. That's okay though. All these smiles. Oh no, it's bringing him flashbacks to the land that he once was at. Right. Right. Is there still hope? Mm-hmm. And that's what we're gonna find out. Someone in there chopping the trees. Yeah, I know it. I know it. Is he still... Oh, he's Diffy. Oh, he's Diffy. Yup. Oh shit. Wonder how long it's been.
ともかくそれが俺とトルフィンの出会いだった。
Cool. I love that style. They did that with one of the other EDs last year or last season. All right, that was episode 1, and I loved it. It was, I think it's a great introduction and way to start off the story. The OST was the immediate thing that caught my attention. The OP, really good, visually stunning. The ED, really good, visually stunning. They did the really cool art style mixed into the ED there that they did with, I think it was the second ED of the first season. And then the first song on the OST right after the OP when they were going into like a bit of narration, I think it was really like heavenly, like it was elevating me. I felt like I was like lifting off and ascending, and it was immersed, like I was so immersed into it, and it was great. It's great. It's great. Animation looks really good so far. There were some beautiful backgrounds that we saw, and just overall some great art. Everything looked good to me. The only thing that stood out to me was that one moment during the reaction where they were panning up and it switched, like the people in it switched to CG and you could see them like kind of stuttering at the bottom. That was a little, you know, it was just noticeable, but it doesn't take anything away from it. Just figured it'd be something to point out. We basically meet this man. His name is Einar. I think that's how you say it. Please correct me if I'm wrong or somehow how to pronounce it because I have no idea. Regardless, it shows his backstory and where this man came from. We find out his village had been raided before. I don't know if this is the same exact village that they burned down in season 1 that we saw, or if it's completely different. I have no idea. Regardless, we find out that his village was burned down before, and him, his sister, and his mom all lived together. They lost their dad during the first raid that happened on the village, and with the help of everybody else who survived as well as Einar himself, they rebuilt the village and basically made it into this beautiful, nice, peaceful place, and everything was good. They were all happy together. He was debating if he should pick up and become a warrior again and start training. His mom was very against that and just wanted him to live out peacefully. The key thing that she brought up was how they built everything that was here and how it's basically his village. He's the one, he helped, he rebuilt it. This is them. It's like them as a group. And then it just flashes forward where I immediately thought it was a flashback for whatever reason, but it flashes forward and they're getting raided again right after she basically tells him not to worry about everything. And this is look at what you built up, right? He then gets to see what he built up being torn down. Mom gives very clear instructions: run into the woods, run straight, do not stop, keep going. She ends up getting shot, and Einar decides to give up and stop and try and help her, which is exactly what she told him not to do. The sister then hears him calling out for his mom and she turns around, which also shouldn't have happened. The mom drops the line of, even if you're alive, you still can, basically talking about he can still manage. As long as you're alive, you can overcome it, is basically what she's getting at. Which is like the first real introduction, I feel like, into what we're going to be getting into majority with the season, is figuring out life and its value and your view on the world and what you're worth and what you can change and how to deal with things and overcome things and finding value and just general happiness and just different things like that. But in order to do those, you need to be alive. And that's basically what the mom's trying to say. He had the opportunity to potentially save the sister. If he leaves, he takes both. But if he stays behind, he loses another, you know? It's either lose one or save two. And honestly, he should have done the other, which is to save two. But it's one of those, he's in the moment of shock, and I guess so was the sister, and he didn't know what to do. Basically, they grab the sister and she ends up taking like a hairpin, or I think it was something on her, off, and stabs one of the guys. He's not very happy about that and kills her. We then get this really cool shot of Einar. He's basically reflecting back on his village as he's being dragged out, and then you see him like inside, this is in the boat, I think, after he got captured, and he's losing his mind, and it just goes into him. I don't even know what to call this, but this is just sick to me. I love this, and it's a cool transition. We then get this quote. I might be stupid, I don't really understand it, but it seems to be just questioning why should a man with no one to love and nothing to look forward to and nothing happy to look back on basically have anything to live for, is kind of what I'm getting from it, but I don't really understand it myself, so I can't I can't add that much to it. We then see a whole bunch of people from the village, I guess, on a boat, and they are moving to some island or wherever they're headed. And I believe this is where basically the men get taken for a lot of the manual labor, and the women get taken to be sold into doing housework and other like in more indoor slave work. That's what I would believe. We then get a scene of everybody getting cleaned up, basically washing hair, washing faces, and trying to make them look more appealing so that they can sell them off to somebody this because now they are slaves. We then get the line of find a good master and serve him as best as you can. And he basically goes on to talk about how they're nothing in life. They have nothing basically anymore. So you might as well. That's all you can do at this point. You can't run. You can't get away. This is what you have to do. And then it just brings up the idea you're never free is basically it. Would you rather just be alive and be enslaved, but at least you're still alive? Or would you rather die? And in a sense, you can feel that you're free. But if you are, you're just running and you're not really becoming free at that point. But Einar himself then has to reflect on the idea that his mom wants him to live, and as long as he's living, he can manage, is what she basically told him. So now his option becomes a bit more, I should just become a slave and serve my master the best I can. And as long as I'm alive, I can manage. And it's a very unfortunate situation to have to be in. We then see Einar come to the realization that he has nowhere to go back to. There is no home, no matter, even if he got onto a boat, his land is all burned down. He has nowhere to go to. He has no family to return to. He has nobody that's looking out for him, nobody that cares for him. He has nothing left. So at this point, he might as well just live on because that's all he can do. He should just become the slave. Next we get to see Leif. Leif always makes his random appearances, and here he is again, and he's at this island or town, whatever, looking for a slave, and that slave is Thorfinn that he's looking for. Thorfinn, however, is not here, as we later find out has already been sold into slavery and purchased by somebody. We then find out that that is actually the same exact person who purchases Einar. We then meet this guy, I don't think they named him yet, who is the guy who ends up purchasing Einar and has also purchased Thorfinn as far as we're aware, and they are both going to be slaves under him working on his farm. He proposes to Einar that he does just come with him and works on his farm, and Einar gets flashbacks to the farm in the village in which he did build up. So maybe wondering, could this be a good life for me? Because it is something I have experience with and it is something I know how to do. But you never know. They could then go to northern England, which is where I guess this guy's farm is. And it's very interesting to me because a scene like this shows they're on a horse. He doesn't have him chained up or anything like that. He doesn't have somebody like watching him or securing him. He is keeping his distance. He's letting him walk at his own pace. So then it raises a few questions. One, is that simply just because they assume that he's not going to run away? And if he does, they'll be able to find him no problem because he has a horse and just other people who can probably chase after him? Or is it this guy is genuinely not a bad person and he doesn't treat his slaves harshly like other people do, and he's genuinely just trying to raise up his farm and his village and do everything good and he treats people right? I don't know. But then the other side of it is he also does still own them as slaves and they still don't get the same sort of rights and everything that he does, so he can't be that good of a person, right? But so far it seems like a good situation to be in, but we'll have to keep an eye out on this guy. I'm still not sold on him, but we'll see. We then get this panning CG shot, which is the one I brought out before, and as you see in the bottom right, they're like stuttering a little bit as they're trying to zoom them or shrink them down as they expand out and show like a wider view so it fits in more, which is, I mean, it's okay. It doesn't ruin anything. It's literally 2 seconds, but just noticeable to me. He then sees this vast land of all this grass and wheat and everything that he had in his old land and his old farm and everything that they had when he was with his family, and it kind of reminds him of home in a way. So is this a new place that he's going to be able to call home? I wonder. And then he poses a question to his mom. Live or die, I will never be free. Do you think I still haven't lost? As callback to when she told him, you haven't lost yet. We haven't lost anything because we were able to rebuild everything back up. But he's becoming very aware that I'm going to be a slave and that's all I can do. No matter what I'm going to be, I'm shackled almost. Like I don't have this freedom anymore. But I think it's just one of those situations where you have to stay optimistic in a way. There's nothing If he dies, he gets nothing out of it. But if he stays alive, he might live his entire life being a slave and never having freedom. But something might arise or something might occur at some sort of point that you never expected. Just like, did you expect your village to get raided in the first place? Probably not. Did you expect them to come back for the second time? Probably not. There's things that could occur and happen, and you could get freed somehow, or somebody could come and buy you out. Or maybe there is somebody out there that you don't actually remember or know that's looking for you, like Leaf is with Thorfinn, who might come get you. You never know. And those are the opportunities that you won't have if you give up and kill yourself in a way. And he needs to stay alive and just try and be as optimistic in such a bad situation as possible. At least that's what I'm believing here. He also brings up that he lost everything, his family, his home, just everything that he has, and he doesn't know what the point of living is anymore. Well, that's what you're here to find out now. You have to see if it's worth it. You have to see if you can make the most of it. And it sucks. It really does, but that's the truth, it seems like. And then for the first time of this new season, we get to see the short blonde boy that Leaf was looking for, who is no longer short and no longer little and nice and built and looks very aged and very tired, and he's got a new look. Thorfinn's definitely aged throughout the 25 episodes of the series so far. And that there is after the prologue, but the prologue to how Thorfinn and Einar met is what I'm getting at. So lots to look forward to. Coming to terms with what life is, coming to terms with not being free or having freedom, coming to terms with just being a slave. We have to figure out if this guy's good or bad or not, that they are enslaved to. And of course he's bad because he owns slaves, and that's not a good thing, but the times were different then, so is he good in comparison to the other owners? We'll have to figure that out, but will we be able to? I don't know. I still don't think we're going to be able to get that many flashes to what's going on with Canute and everybody else around the world, and I think we're strictly going to follow kind of Thorfinn and Einar this season, but we'll have to see. What are the other slaves like on this farm? Do they like their life here? How many other ones are there? Will we see Leaf again? If Leaf has the option to, will he come try and buy Thorfinn back? What is Thorfinn chasing? What are his views? How has he changed? How many years has it been? I think simply this season's just going to pose a lot of questions and make you kind of just sit back and reevaluate a lot of life and your stance almost on certain things and views in different ways. At least that's kind of the direction I'm hoping it's going for, and getting over your past and trying to find your new future and what you really want and who you want to become and who you don't want to become. That's all I'm going to have for this one. Loved every second of it. Cannot wait for the next 23 episodes. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought on the season. Are you excited for the rest of the season? Did anything stand out in this first episode to you? What are you looking forward to? What do you think this season will be about if you haven't read the manga, that is? Also watching Tokyo Revenger Season 2 on the channel, so feel free to check that out. If you have any other suggestions for things you want me to watch this season or that even came out in the past, let me know. I'm open to anything. A like and subscribe on the video would make me very happy. In the description, you can check out my links to my Twitter and my anime list. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and add me as a friend on Mal. Until next week, peace.